all that's still to come, but now James Blunt is in the kitchen with us. So how's your cooking?
It's terrible, so
it?
yeah, I wouldn't really get me too involved.
Well, we were just talking about army catering, because I kind of do
Yeah.
quite a bit with the boys in the army, and I was saying that I'm always amazed at how brilliant army chefs are, and I kind of love being involved with them. It's just quite incredible what they do. I mean, you must have found that you, I suppose maybe you don't. At the end of the day, on the other end of it, and you think this food's all right.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time we had boil in the bags, so
Yeah.
you'd stick that in some water just to heat up, or even stick it under your arm just to get it to body temperature. But yeah, when you occasionally got to an army chef who's working in all kinds of situations, making some incredible food.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's great, and I'm very proud to be involved in it. It's great. I'm competing in the competition next year against the army chefs. Yeah, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I have a big inter-forces competition in Sandown every year, and I'm competing next year.
Oh, that's
I
brilliant.
am going to do it. I promised I would.
That's brilliant.
Okay,
so what are you making?
All right, we're going to make apple charlotte, which basically is if you imagine summer pudding, which is kind of bread with fruit in the middle, it's a similar thing, but using apples, really. So we've got some bread, we've got some bread crumbs. This is our cooked apple, how it ends up. We've got some butter, we've got some blackberries, and then apples. We've got baking apples and eating apples, sugar, vanilla, and cinnamon. We use both apples because they break down at different times, so it means you get a nicer texture.
Right, OK.
So first of all, Lisa, as Master Chef, you may as well do this as well. James, you can peel the great big baking fella.
Thank you.
And Lisa, you can peel the little small fiddly
Thank you very
eating
much.
fellas. So we're peeling these, and then we're going to cook them off with the vanilla and the cinnamon and a little bit of butter.
Lovely. I cooked at your old school for MasterChef, James.
While I was there.
Not while you were there, no, but the food there's great, isn't it?
I thought it was pretty shocking, but that was a while back. But no, not while you were cooking.
No, I was very surprised at the quality of the food for the boys. I thought it was very good. So you obviously,
Maybe
got
some
fed
food.
well, but you say no.
I was there a while back, yeah, because it was a big kind of eating hall with 1,000 people, so it was chefs cooking for a lot of people.
And what's your favourite food? Are you a sweet person?
Yeah, I like Domino's pizza.
Or any other pizza, of course.
And
And what else? What else do you eat? Because, I mean, you're at the stage now where you've got goalposts in the back of all of your trucks that also you must be able to kind of dictate what you want food-wise.
yeah, I mean, I'm not that fussy really. I'll eat anything that's going, and in each country we'll try and have whatever's there, whatever's their local one.
So you
but of course, when we have about 50 people on the road, so
you have your own caterers.
so we take caterers with us, and they cook amazingly for us.
And do you have to do tastings to check it's all right for you?
No, I don't.
I quite like that. You know what I mean? I quite like to be in that position. When I'm on the road. I long to have an entourage. I kind of, in fact, you've come quite light-handed today. Quite often we get musicians, they come mob-handed. You're quite low rent, really.
Yeah, thanks.
But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because sometimes come with like 1 million people.
I managed to choose my own clothes today. So, yeah.
Does that mean someone's going to be sitting there going, oh, I knew I should have gone with him. Look what he's wearing. Okay, how are we doing that? OK, so chop the apples. They can be in, big chunks, small chunks. Doesn't really matter. In here, we've got the butter, the sugar, the cinnamon and the vanilla, which are just going to give us some nice flavours into that. Lovely. Beautiful.
Okay.
Great peeling, Mr. Blunt. Great peeling. So then all we want to do is just take all the outside off like that.
Oh, OK. I'm doing it like I'm cooking for my daughter. Look, making her little apple squares.
Bless. And then chop them however you want. Big, small, whatever you fancy doing. Really.
OK.
James, is it true that you have a nightclub in your house?
I do have a nightclub in my house in Ibiza. I have a big neon sign which says Blunty's Nightclub, where everybody's beautiful. And if you drink enough, they are.
Yeah, how much is it to get in?
It's free. In fact, I have a mannequin on the door. I went and bought a mannequin. So I've got a red rope and a mannequin with a clipboard.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
And they do some special search.
She's called Nadia.
I went to Ibiza for the first time in the summer. I couldn't believe how great it was.
It's fantastic,
I'm
isn't
a bit
it?
old for kind of, At the end of the day, people looked at me strange when I was, making shapes and passionate. But hey, whatever.
You're never too old for Ibiza, are you?
No, you're not.
No.
When did you move there?
I moved there about 5 years ago. And, yeah, because I like sunshine and nightclubs.
Yeah, very good.
OK, so we chuck in all of the apples and then we cook those down until they're nice and soft. That'll do us, actually, chaps. At least we can chuck those in and then we're done on those. So the first part of it is cooking out the apples. They can be as mushy as you want, really. OK, so cook, and we end up with... Thank you, Lise.
Ta-da!
Stir, 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 let them cook nice and gently. So we end up with this. So this is all of our delicious, mushy apples. So the next job, James, for you...
lovely.
So, of course, now we've got all the lovely flavour of the cinnamon and the vanilla in there as well. So we get rid of the vanilla, get rid of the cinnamon, and then chuck those 3 things in there, give them a gentle fold around.
A gentle fold around.
Yeah, so it's all nicely right. Now, while that's happening, Lisa, we've got another job for you.
Go on then.
The bread part of it.
Yes.
What we're going to do now, we're going to fill these little Dariel moulds. This is what we're going to make the charlottes in. So we've got 2 cutters, 2 different sizes. Out of this first one, clever old bakers. Look, the
can
big
do
one and the small.
2.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
So one of each of those. So what we've got there now, the reason we have the breadcrumbs out, of course, is because the apples are really, really juicy. So what we want is something that will hold it together. So, yeah, so when it bakes, it isn't just going to fall out and just become a load of apple soup, basically. OK, so we've got big one and small. Then, Lise, on with another piece of bread,
Want another one?
cut the crust off.
Yep.
And then cut it in half lengthways. OK, so this is our filling. Apples, blackberry, cinnamon, vanilla. Cooking's easy, isn't it? You could do this.
Yeah,
This is a whole new career for you.
Dish.
Yeah. So then what we do...
Long lengthwise like this, just
Perfect.
in 2.
First one, the small one, dip into the butter, press into the bottom of our Dariel mould. We're going to make one of these. OK, press it right the way down so it gets... Again, you can pack it down so you want to sort of break down the texture of the bread. And then dip the 2 pieces in like that and wrap that round the middle. So you see, you press that one down there. And all of this delicious buttery flavour will really go into it. Now, again, if you want to make it even sweeter, you could sprinkle a bit of sugar around the outside of it, put the bread in as well so it become crispy. It's entirely up to you. Depends how sweet you want it.
No, I'd rather have it like this.
I'm glad. That is the right answer. And then, James, just spoon in some of our lovely mix up to the top of that.
See how easy it is?
It's very,
That's
very
amazing.
Yeah. And press all of that down. Now, again, the amount of bread, that's fine, that's cool. And then, again, with the final piece of bread, into the butter and press it down on top.
That's it, squidging that little blackberry.
And the amount of breadcrumbs that you put in it will depend on, how juicy your apples are. So, again, from the recipe that you get off the website, you may find you need to adjust the amount of breadcrumbs.
Right.
You want it to taste of apples rather than bread. Fantastic. Onto there, and then we bake it for about 10 to 15 minutes, and they crisp up, and all of this lovely moisture is sealed inside. So this is what we end up with, these lovely, lovely charlottes. There we go, beautiful. OK, so what we do to serve, out it comes like that. He's nice and crispy, he's buttery. We then have more fruit sprinkled around the outside like that. We have a dollop of clotted cream on the top.
You could do a little quenelle there, couldn't you?
I could have done a quenelle. Master Chef, I should get that to you. You used to do that for the ones at the table. And then...
What's the quenelle for any of those people who don't know what it is? All those silly people.
It looks really posh. It's a special little spoon shape that you do, and it looks like an egg on top.
Yeah,
and actually, once you learn to do them, they really make things look posh.
Yeah,
And luckily enough, with it being live television, Lisa Fold, you can demonstrate your quenelling techniques as well now. Go for it. James, dig in. Sarah, dig in. After you.
Whilst you're trying that, I'm going to tell you that coming up, we've got sweet potato and chestnut hash with a poached egg on it.
Yeah. And gherkins.
And gherkins. Can't go wrong
Pickled
with that,
egg
can you?
and some butter, Tim.
Is that
A
good?
little bit like a Big Mac, but better. Yeah?
Much.
A gherkin.
Oh.
Not this.
What's this
That would
like?
be really...
Can someone give me an opinion on it?
Delicious.
OK.